First time here. Welcome. You are definitely not going to regret joining this session. You are not going to regret joining this session. Carrots. Greetings, Vaughn. Greetings, Lisa Banks. Scarab. Scarab. Rolex man. Very well. Thank you. How are you doing? Okay, let's go straight to it. Yesterday, we started talking about. Greetings, Terry. Thank you. We started talking about the Lionsgate portal. And yesterday I was able to define what the Lionsgate portal is. And I emphasized that the Sirius star, Sirius, Sirius star, which is the shiniest and the biggest star. The Sirius star is the server that supplies light to the reflector that you see. So what you see in the sky is a reflector, it's not the main sun. The Sirius star is the biggest star. It is larger in mass, twice. It's like double of the size of the reflector that you see. And the Sirius star, the Orion belt, both have a role to play when it comes to the Lionsgate portal. The sun gives light, but the Sirius gives life. The sun gives light, but the Sirius gives life. You need both, right? The sun gives life, light, and the Sirius gives life. I am the bright and morning star. Hello, Rookie. I am the bright and morning star is not referring to the regular stars that you see in the sky. It's referring to the Sirius star. I'm the bright and morning star. We are in the season of the bright and morning star. Akeju, hello. What I'm giving to you is an information that has been kept, especially from Africans. That's why today we are looking at what the ancients knew that we have forgotten. There is something the ancients knew, but we have forgotten. And that's what we're looking at today. Are you ready for this? What the ancients knew that we forgot. Our knowledge has either been stolen from us or corrupted and doctored. And that's why you see a lot of people, they are a second-class version of who they are meant to be. Because a tree that is cut off from its roots can never survive. The reason people cannot withstand the test of time, the challenges that life throws at them, is because they have been cut off from their roots. They don't know their history. They don't know their ancestral strengths. Matter of fact, they don't want to know because they've been told that their ancestors are actually demonic. that their ancestors, the history of their ancestry begin like slaves, monkeys jumping from one tree to another, looking for banana. This is the perception and the mentality of a lot of people when it comes to ancestral systems. But until you connect back to your roots, a stone would look and feel like a mountain. Drops of water, Vaughn, good afternoon, would feel and look like an ocean. Everything you seek is in your ancestry. Everything you are trying to become, just by tapping into your ancestry, you know it. The proof is your DNA. No, not now. The proof is in your DNA. That's where the proof is. The fact that you have a DNA simply means that nothing can separate you from your ancestral system. It's generational. Biology has proved it. Science has proved it. I want you to stay glued to this session this afternoon, because what I'm sharing with you are insights they don't want you to know. Yes, I am dedicated to your elevation. I am dedicated to your elevation. You know, you have to know yourself so much that nothing can move you. This is my calling in this incarnation. I am the voice that lifts people from the valley, from the ashes to the mountaintop. I am the voice. People have suggested to me to do the, oh, you look like someone that will be a great politician. People like you should actually be the ones to join politics. Pursuing politics is belittling my destiny and my life path. I am not called to pursue politics. So as much as I sound like somebody that would be a great politician rather, I don't want to be a politrician. They are politricians, right? So I would rather stick to my calling of being an advisor to the elites and the voice that lifts the downtrodden from their ashes and the valley up to the mountaintop. And that's why I'm dedicated to sharing this type of knowledge with you, so that we can go beyond the milk, the biscuits, and the ice cream that they serve you from the altar and the prayer mats. Thank you so much, user 714. That's it. We have to teach people so they can move from their valley to their mountaintop. That's it. That's the whole concept. That's the reason. So people can ascend. So people can understand that there is nothing necessarily mysterious about ascending from where you are to where you need to be. And the Lions Gate portal is the period of every year that you can take advantage of the high frequency that is available. And you can quantum jump your life. Listen, the Lions Gate portal is not all about rosy, and all that. The Lions Gate portal will either activate your destiny or it will magnify your distractions. That's what it does. It would either activate your destiny or it will magnify your distractions. Because This is what the elites use and the masses ignore. The masses are not taught how to understand and how to relate with nature, times and seasons. The masses are only presented with the calendar and the clock, the chronological time frame. That's what the masses need. That's what the masses are given to run with. So the linear type of thinking belongs to the masses. The elites don't think like that. So this is not necessarily about July, August 2025. It is a cosmic shift. It's a cosmic shift that you must plug into. You must plug into it. Because the ancients didn't know anything about August or July or June. But the ancients knew, based on their understanding of times and seasons and nature, that during this particular period of time, the Nile is flooded. There is an overflow. There is a harvest. The Sirius star supplies more light than usual. That's what the ancients knew. They knew it. The flesh profited nothing. The spirit gives life. So if you are still thinking only from the logical perspective, from the analytical perspective, which are actually great, but you are meant to think from the place of energy, spirit, quantum physics, and then balance it with logic, analysis. And that's how you are able to manipulate energy. You are here to manipulate energy. That's what you are here to do. You are here to manipulate energy. That's why you are here. If you're having issues with paying online, send a WhatsApp message to the WhatsApp number on the profile. That's why you are here. Today is day 2, so let's go straight to it, guys. Are you ready for this? So we have defined yesterday, day 1, pre-Lionsgate portal. Pre-Lionsgate portal masterclass. We have defined what the Lionsgate portal is. Now let's go to what the ancients knew that we forgot. What the ancestors knew that we forgot. How were our ancestors able to modify the weather? Our ancestors could stop nature from performing its duty. Our ancestors could control the atmosphere. How did we lose this technology? You call it juju. It's a techno. How did we lose the African ancestral technology? How did we lose it? Our ancestors could teleport an astral project. Our ancestors could perform brain surgery with alcohol, with gin. Our ancestors performed healing of trauma. When people go to war and they come back, our ancestors healed them from PTSD. All of the things that you see right now, our ancestors were practicing them like joke. It was child's play to them. And many of you are carriers of the glory and power and grace of your ancestors. But religion, organized religion, the misplacement and the misdirection of organized religion is what is troubling you. Some of you are not ordinary human beings. You are an orisha. But no. It's evil, it's demonic. I'm here to trigger you and provoke you. I'm going to provoke you to your transformation. So you can quantum jump from where you are to where you are. Some of you will first get angry when you hear what I'll say. That anger will produce transformation in you. Because you can't continue to beat around the bush. You can't continue to do that and you're expecting things to change, but you are beating around the bush. No. I'm teaching you the things they don't want you to know. That's what I'm teaching you. Your ancestors, the miraculous was natural to your ancestors. Because some of you thought that your ancestry started with poverty and pain and depression and sickness and slavery. Don't wish that you have supernatural powers. You have supernatural powers because you are an African, because you are a human being. You have supernatural powers. What you don't know is how to live that supernatural life naturally. Your ancestors were miracle workers. What did they know that you have forgotten? And the only reason why we keep feeding systems that seek to keep us as slaves is because we keep outsourcing our power. Now, a lot of you don't believe you have supernatural power. Because listen to me, it is simply super on your natural, because the spiritual and the material world are two dimensions happening simultaneously. There is no separation. You know, they separated, they said the metaphysical is not the spiritual realm. No, that's the spiritual realm. The metaphysical, the super on the physical, the super on the natural is what makes you supernatural. So your nature as a human being is still part of the spiritual. If you know this, nobody will be able to hold you to ransom ever again. You will celebrate people. You see, I celebrate everybody. I celebrate every religion. I see the beauty in every religion. But you cannot put me under any bondage, any dogma. You can't. It's impossible. I can't live by your rules. I will pick the beauty in every religion, but I'm not going to be under your rules. I'm not going to be under the absolute revelation, under the revelation of anybody, whether they lived in the 4th, 2nd, 5th, 6th century, and accept that as the absolute truth about God, about nature, about the universe. I will never do that. Stick a gun in my neck, I will not do it. But I will see the beauty in what you're saying. When you discover the super in you, you are going to become supernatural. And then you start living the supernatural life naturally. That's what it is. So a lot of people think that the supernatural life, supernatural power can only be wielded by people who occupy clergy position. Yes, that's what you think. Nobody has power over you except you give them consent. Nobody. There is nobody who is more powerful than you spiritually. The difference between you and them is that they know something you don't know. That's it. Knowledge, understanding, and the correct application of what they know is what separates you and them. Forget the title. Nobody. Nobody. With due respect to everybody who is GO, who is pastor, who is imam, who is this, nobody is more powerful than me in my life. The difference between you and me is that there are some things that you know that I don't know. That's the only difference. And when we come to understanding, when we come to inner standing, when we come to processing knowledge with the aim to act right, to practicalize the knowledge that we know from understanding, things begin to change for us. Things begin to change. And I have seen people around me who 6 months, 9 months, 1 year ago, they did not believe they could wield the power they are wielding now, because society has crushed them. Religion has stripped them of their personal power. Childhood trauma has robbed them of their childhood glory. So they, matter of fact, they thought they had lost everything. And in less than 1 year, I see them now functioning from their place of authority. When I see them, there are people here from the community. I used to speak to them a lot every day, but now I hardly talk to them. You know why? because I can see that they're already on their throne. The moment you're already on your throne, I don't have to talk to you every time. You are already a king. When the kings are gathering with the queens, then me and you can talk. The only people I pay more attention to are people who are still paupers. But you are already a king. In less than 1 year, you've discovered your throne and you are now sitting on your throne. You are not where you want to be, but you're no longer where you used to be. You are now sharpening your sword. And it is very hard for anyone to now hold you to ransom because you have discovered the inner technology that powers the supernatural life that is in you. What the ancients knew that we forgot. What our ancestors knew that we have demonized and we have forgotten. Those are the systems and the instruments that the elites and the powerful, either in the religious sector or it's in politics or it's in the economic sector, those are the tools and weapons they are using. They are wielding these weapons to keep us in bondage. Not me, to keep their people, their victims in bondage. We must awaken the sacred African wisdom. African wisdom is sacred. Modern life has disconnected you from cosmic intelligence. That's what modern life has done. And when I say modern life, I'm adding religion to that. It has disconnected you from cosmic intelligence. So I'm not trying to attack anyone. I'm not trying to inspire any form of nostalgia in you, right? But I want to reveal to you what humanity lost when we stopped building in alignment with nature, not worshiping nature, aligning with nature. That's what I'm saying. Our ancestors did not just do horoscope. They didn't just study the stars. They communicated and interacted with the stars. The star was a tool for them to use to decipher realms and dimensions. The moon was like a tool to our ancestors. The earth, the water, is not from a place of worship. It's from a place of alignment. That's what you are doing. That's the difference between me and the spiritists on TikTok who tell you to worship this tree, worship this dog, you worship nothing. You are an extension of universal consciousness. You are not a worshiper. You are not a believer. You are a thinker. You are an explorer. That's what you are. We are going to start, you see, join me. The last 6 months of the year, you will work the miracles that you want to see in your life by yourself. Nobody needs to lay any hand on you. You will work it by yourself, right? Because we all don't want the same thing, right? Have you ever wondered? Ask yourself this question. Have you ever wondered how the ancients built monuments that still baffle engineers? Till date, those monuments are still standing till date. But they couldn't read or write the way we do. But they built the pyramid, the obelisk. They built some of these structures, wonders, the things that we refer to as the wonders of the world. In today's technological space, the ancients built it. How did they do it? My experience in Egypt. I was in Egypt in March, and they took me on a private tour of the Pyramid of Giza in Cairo. And from there, we went to Luxor, entered temples. We went to some of the museums. And I was telling you a story, one of my Nubian friends, my Nubian friend who told me, when you enter there is a place called where they buried the royal chamber, whatever, what they call it. So this is where you see the mummies of King Ramses and co. Queen Nefertiti, the royal family. You will see their mummies in that place. And my Nubian friend said to me, he said, after he took me to several places, it was not a tour for me, it was something else. I did some things when I was there. And he said to me, when you enter and you see the mummies of Ramses, because you're always talking about Ramses, and he said to me, speak to Ramses, because everything is energy vibrating the frequency. So as long as it is visible in the 3D reality, yeah, it is vibrating a frequency. And he said, speak to Ramses. And I spoke to Ramses. And I told him, I said, bro, this is the reason why I like talking to you. You know something. And he said, this is ancestral knowledge. That was his response. He is a Muslim, but he said he will never erase the ancestral knowledge that his forefathers passed to him. He must pass this knowledge to his children. So that's what I'm telling you. We speak to the dead. Speak to it. And a lot of people have said that the pyramid of Egypt was a tomb to bury the kings. No, but they've searched and searched all through the years. They hardly saw the mummies of whoever. So the pyramid is more than just a tomb for the kings. The pyramid was a transmission center. That's what it was. It was a transmission center to connect with nature. To connect with nature. So the goal is actually to connect with nature. Except you want to go and steal and rob, right? And commit crimes that in your next life you will have to pay the karma. Until you connect with nature, nature will not be at peace with you until you connect and you remember, because the goal is to remember, right? Thank you for that word. You remember. We are meant to remember who we were. You're meant to remember who you are until you connect to nature. El Great, greetings. So that's why you see the pyramid of Giza, all the pyramids, they are aligned with Orion's belt, right? When you study the whole concept of Lion's Gate Portal, you will see how the Sirius connects with the Orion belt. And the position, it is the position of the Sirius, right? It is the position of the Sirius. The Sirius, like I told you, is the shiniest, biggest star. It is the shiniest, the biggest star. It is the server that gives light to the sun, the reflector that you are seeing. So the rising of the Sirius was the ancient Egyptians' New Year, the galactic New Year, and is around this period in modern day that we call between July and August, right? But let me clarify some things. This is a sacred time for rebirth, for water fertility, for resurrection. One of the things I got when I went to Egypt is this item. It's called scarab. How many of you know about scarab? Scarab. Some people call it scarlet. Some people call it scarlet, but it is popularly known as scarab. Scarab. This is a scarab. So I have one here. I have one here in my hand. I wish you had a scarab to wear this period, because the scarab is very compatible with the Lion's Gate portal season. Everything is alive. So when you wear it on your body, is alive, right? And if you are here, you are saying it's evil. Why are you wearing your church handband? Why are you pasting your church sticker on your car thinking to protect you? So if I am demonic, maybe you are also. So temples were not just places of worship. The pyramid wasn't just there for tourism. It wasn't just there for tourism. These were cosmic machines. They were built, they were installed to harness specific star frequencies during the Lion's Gate portal. So it's meant to take in some energy that would impact the atmosphere and then have a ripple effect on the people in that terrain. That's the reason why they were installed. So the pyramid was not built for the dead. The pyramid was a resurrection chamber. That's what it was. That's why it's the place where information is being transmitted. Information is received and transmitted to the Sirius, to the stars, communicating with the planetary system. And that was why they were able to install and build and construct that type of wonder, that type of structure that is still a wonder to the world in the 21st century. Thousands of years ago, a structure that was built thousands of years ago, we now call it one of the wonders of the world. What did they know that we have forgotten? What did the ancient Benin ancestors knew that the modern day Benins have forgotten, that they've demonized? What did they know? One of the most glorious ancient civilizations was the Benin Empire in Nigeria. What did they know that you have forgotten, that you have demonized? And people are glorifying small things and thinking, yes, our God is working for us. All these idols. Yeah, he's working for the institution. Check your own life. Is it really working for you? Check yourself. Because people are mimicking other people's success. People are mimicking the success of their religious institution and thinking that because their religion is progressing, they are also progressing. No, that's what your parents did. A lot of our parents, they died mimicking the success of other people and institutions, whereas in their own life, there's no success. What did the ancient Benin ancestors know that the modern day Benins have forgotten? How did they build a wall? How did the ancient Igbos have a democracy system that the rest of the world were now copying from later on? The Greeks now copied from it. A system they had thousands of years ago. How did they do that? Your history did not begin with slavery. Your understanding of God and divinity did not begin when any religion came in. We knew who God was before any foreign religion came in. And one of the ways to weaken people, one of the ways to break people down into tiny little pieces, that it will be so difficult for them to rise up, is to rewrite their perception of God. What's your perception of God? The ancestors knew something about God, but slavery came and slavery disrupted our interaction and relationship with divinity, with nature. And then you know what happened? We stopped where our ancestors stopped, and we have not been able to upgrade the African technology since then. Now, one of the things you would know about this is a scarab, but this is also the shape of a skull. What does this signify? Rebirth, transformation. And this is something that is gotten from nature. So now you get something from nature that is the sign and symbol of a skull that you have in your head. So when I tell you in sacred geometry that you are the universe personified, that your palm is simply lightning. That's what your palm is. The fire is in you, water is in you, earth is in you. You are all the elements put together in one. That's what you are. You are the I am. Happy birthday, Ariadi. What did the Yoruba ancestors know? That kings in those days, they could teleport, they could engage in telepathic communication. You know, a man who, some people think because they have a religion, they are the best things in sliced bread. So I just allow them to enjoy themselves. So he was telling me about a particular guy and said, before I spoke to him and he gave his life, his father taught him how to practice telepathic communication, how to astral project. So I told him those things are demonic, and he has stopped doing those things, and now he is born again. And I was looking at the man and I said, where is the boy? And he said, he is with us now. He has left all those demonic things. And I said, do you know that everything that you stole from that boy, those are the technologies that the CIA, the MI5, the Mossad, those are the technologies they are using to rule the world? Telepathic communication. Now, all of these are beginning to be converted and translated into hardware technologies. And you are happy that you told a boy that telepathic communication, astral projection is evil. And in your mind, you have done something glorious. Africans are the problem of Africa. The glorification of stupidity. We now dress it up as, yes, this person is converting to our religion. That person is converting to, and to us, that is, we are moving forward. We're moving forward. That's why an average African can no longer activate the power that is resident in them. An average human being, an average Greek, an average Arab, Asian, they've lost the ancestral system, especially Africans. Ignorance has become the order of the day. Yes, just be an ignorant person. Thank you. Birthright sold, integrity crushed. The knowledge of the ancients was scientific. It was a technology. It was initiatory. So you have to be initiated. That was why they had these initiation schools, right? They were passing this knowledge down through rituals, through dreams, through vibration, through the understanding of energy. They did not study all these stars. They remembered them because stars are in you. Lightning is in you. Fire is in you. You are the universe personified. That's what you are. Because listen to me, the Lion's Gate portal would only respond to your dominant energy. That's why I'm charging you. I want to trigger you so that you are prepared for the Lion's Gate portal. So when that time comes, you are positioned, because it is going to magnify your dominant energy. So you see, they passed to us the Gregorian calendar. So chronology, seeing time from the chronological perspective, is what dominates the minds of most people. But seeing time from cyclical nature, from the cyclical pattern of nature, so you can understand times and seasons. So you are not looking at time like 1 o'clock, 2 p.m., 5 p.m. You see it from an esoteric place. That's why you see the Ethiopians, they use it a 13-month calendar. And the 13-month calendar is in sync with the Sirius star. So you see, I was telling you December last year, I said, the only reason why you should celebrate New Year is because anything that has been practiced for hundreds of years, you cannot deny the fact that it is now emitting some form of energy and power. Based on the law of repetition, which is one of the laws of nature, the law of reinforcement. So it has been reinforced for years. So that's the reason you can practice Happy New Year in January. But there are seasons in that new year that a lot of people don't pay attention to. Springtime, March 19, 20, 21st into April. And then the main one, the most powerful season in any year, is the period between, late June into late July into early August into September. And because the Sirius star is very, very domineering, many times it extends into the rest of the year until winter starts. So a lot of people, when they hear that Ethiopia is still in 2017 or so, or 2015, they say Ethiopia is behind. No, they are not behind. They are on cosmic time. They are not behind. And they're not trying to compete with you. See, let me tell you, the whole concept of rat race, competition, unhealthy competition. You want to be this person. Is this chronological time mentality that we have? Oh, you are 30, you are not married. Is carnality. Let me tell you, it's carnality. You see time from the linear dimension, not the cyclical dimension. Nature. How were the farmers seeing farming and sowing seeds and planting and harvesting then? They are not behind. It's cosmic time. That was why the ancestors could build monuments and structures that has lasted a lifetime. That we are now referring to those structures as wonders of the world. Or the ancient architecture. When something is coded in cosmic intelligence, it gains immortality. That's what it does. How many structures in Africa that was built in the last 100 years is still existing? But they built pyramids and temples and obelisks, and because they tuned into solar lunar stellar alignment, they tuned in to the forces, the seen and the unseen forces of nature. That was what they were working with. So they didn't have to shout every morning for 2 hours. So compare this modern day architectural work to the pyramid. All these glass towers that we are building, all these Burj Khalifa, Burj this, all these shopping malls, they don't have immortality. They are great, right? All these so-called smart homes. Smart home without spiritual frequency. So you see, some people, people can speak stupidly sometimes. They see this Ibadan is not even developing. Old houses are still there. Leave those houses like that. They are immortal monuments. Leave them like that. If the state wants to develop, they have more land. Let them start new regions, new sites, new towns, and develop those towns. But leave those places the way they are. When you travel to the Pyramid of Giza, all the houses there, some of them are 200 years old. There is a reason why they left their houses like that. This modernization of everything is killing people. And that's why everybody is competing with everybody. I want to be like this person. I want to be like this person. I don't care about your wins. I am winning. I'm focused on what I'm doing. Everybody wants to use shiny things because modernization is poisoning us. That's what it's doing to us. Modernization should have its place, but it should never take its place at the expense of ancient monuments. We have to be able to immortalize some achievements, structures, architectural development. And we cannot do that if we are not in alignment with the seen and unseen forces of nature. If you have demonized the study and relationship with nature, with the star, with the moon, with the sun, if you have demonized it, you cannot build anything that will last. People will sing your praise for 50 years. After 50 years, what? After that, what? Exactly. We are losing our history. What is happening now is it is the miscarriage of history because we are not deeply rooted in nature. We are not deeply rooted in the solar, lunar, stellar systems. We're not deeply rooted in ancestral knowledge. We have demonized them. We're not paying attention. And listen to me, the elites and the powerful in society, they are using it. You are the one who is ignoring it. Because ancient cities were energy grids. They were energy grids. See, I studied in Dubai, and I'm going to tell you this. And as much as many of you like going to Dubai on vacation, It's a modern city. It's a city without a soul. That's like one of the most artificial cities in the world. That's why when people go to it, many of you work in Dubai right now, right? It's like the city wants to swallow you up because it doesn't have a soul. It's artificial. It's not connected to any nature. They have to improvise. They have to create artificial nature in the city. It is not. It doesn't have a soul. It doesn't have a soul. As much as you like it, go in there, shine, take pictures in a fine house, take pictures in a, oh yeah. To us, that is progress. I'm not trying to talk down on the development and advancement that the city has been able to leverage on. But what I'm saying to you is that the fact that something looks modern does not mean it is not energy vampiric in nature. Because ancient cities, you see the way they were building houses then. How they were using, there are some builders right now who are going back to using mud. Have you seen that? They are now going back to use mud because many of you, the reason why you are easily depressed is because of the house you live in. There is no demon. The house, the structure of the house you live in, the materials used in building that house, they drain your energy easily. Energy vampiric zones, that's where you are in. But you don't know it. The painting that you used, the shine that you put there, the marbles, all of these things, they drain your energy because they are disconnected from nature. Disconnected from nature. Ancient cities were energy grids because they were structured and built in alignment with the seen and the unseen forces of nature. We have moved into a place called the collapse of celestial literacy. People are formally educated, spiritually ignorant. They don't have cosmic intelligence. They only have book knowledge. No cosmic intelligence, just book knowledge. That's why they cannot power any change and transformation in their own life. And that's what colonization did to us. It first stripped us of our knowledge, burned down temples with literature, stole a bunch of them. So it replaced oral wisdom. It replaced it. See. It has replaced your native knowledge with religious dogma. Your Ogbon Abinibi Yoruba. If you are a Yoruba person here, you know what I'm saying. Ogbon Abinibi, the wisdom and knowledge and understanding and the gift and the skills that you were born with. Colonization replaced it with religious dogmas and doctrines. So now you think you need religion to act right and do right by yourself and be a great person and transform your life. No, you don't. You came here with the systems, with the data and the resources that you need to power all that change and transformation in your life. But it has stripped you, society, religion, has stripped you by disconnecting you from nature, from aligning yourself with the seen and the unseen forces of nature. So you must call one name when you pray before your prayer can be answered. Outsourcing. The goal is to weaken you every day. You must wake up and they must tap into your energy and suck your energy. That's why you have every morning they must wake you up to pray. You must wake up in the morning. They drain your energy. I'm not saying waking up in the morning to pray is wrong. But what I'm saying is any system that is set up to rob you of your native intelligence, the intelligence you were born with, because nothing can replace that intelligence. Sacred time, sacred architecture, sacred rites. They've swapped all of those things for mechanical time. Watches, deadline. There is a deadline. I'm not married at 30. My life is finished. Corporate calendars. Hey, if you're not married at 35, what are you doing with your life? All this nonsense. Some people will not marry. Some people's assignment in life is to be something else and do something else. But they have packed all of us together like herds, and they have given us chronology. They've given us calendar to work with. No, disconnect yourself from those artificial intelligence. Disconnect yourself from all those energy vampiric systems that is robbing you of evolving into the authentic person that you came here to become. You must disconnect yourself from them. Your native intelligence that you were born with. Your native intelligence that you were born with. All the knowledge, all the resources, all the tools, the weapons that you need to wield power in this incarnation, to cause change to happen in your life, to confront issues and overcome them. Universal, conscious, in infinite intelligence, what you people call God, invested all of those things in you. I don't want to go to the part of God, because you say God, if you say God, some people now will come and be arguing with you, because God is just a general term. Your God should have a name. So when you say God, it's low vibrational. Matter of fact, God doesn't have a name. God is expression. Sufism clearly helps us to understand God better. I see you in the flowers and the roses. I see you when the trees clap their hands. I see you when the ocean. I see you when the lions roar. God is in expression. When you see nature, the beauty of nature, you are seeing the presence of God. When you see another human being, you are seeing the expression of the God frequency, of the God force. That's what you are seeing. But when you live in buildings that drain you, the ancestors lived in temples that activated their energy, activated their frequency, right? But we are living in buildings that drain us. You are complaining that your life is not moving forward. Have you checked where you live? Those who are led by the Spirit are the sons of God. Those who understand energy transaction, energy mastery, they are the sons, meaning they are the extension of the kingdom, meaning they are the ones who can power any substantial change in their own life. The goal is to remember, because a people disconnected from the stars are easier to enslave. A people disconnected from nature are easier to enslave. I want to provoke you to start thinking. Why did they align the pyramids to stars? And why don't you align? Why do you think observing new moon is evil and demonic? Why? But you can do Easter. You can do Christmas. You need to sit down, not from the place of being judgy, and ask yourself some questions. You need to wake up. Thank you. You need to wake up. Because this period, for those who plug in, you're going to start having lucid dreams, because you are about to start connecting back to your ancestry. This period into August, you're going to see there is a shift already taking place. There is a shift that is taking place right now. You are connecting back to your own pyramid, because the pyramid is the base of everything that exists. Anything you put in the pyramid gains immortality. Anything, if you want to plant anything, any goal that you have, you either put it in the pyramid, sacred geometry, or you put it in a square, or you put it in a circle. Put your life in the sacred geometry of the pyramid, the circle and the square, and watch how it gains immortality. You won't have to struggle with emotional breakdown, inconsistency. You won't have to start struggling with all these things they call disappointment, low self-esteem. You can't confront issues head on. You won't have to struggle with them. Put your life in the pyramid. Put your life in the pyramid. How did they build structures thousands of years ago that we are now celebrating as the wonders of the world? And even the best of engineers cannot explain how they did it, because they built with nature in mind. They built with nature in mind. Land is nature. So I tell people I'm in real estate. So I don't tell people I'm selling land. No, I'm selling products, because it is a crime to nature to sell land. Now, I'm going to tell you this. If you are in real estate, you know what I'm saying. It is harder to sell a land than to sell a house. Any real estate person here, it is difficult to sell a bare land, more difficult. It is easier to sell an already built house, than to sell a bare land. Because listen, it is a crime to nature to sell lands. I hope you know that. I'm in real estate. So whatever is on land is a product. You can't sell land, because land is ancestral in nature. And that's why that's why you are struggling in real estate. Because if everybody is talking about, if you want to build wealth and you don't have real estate, you can't build wealth. Real estate is God's business. Real estate is the business of the universe. That's why you notice you struggle. Real estate agents, they are wearing shoes and the shoes melt and they look like they are suffering because they want to sell nature. The land owns you. You don't own land. Your relationship with the land. So I tell people in real estate, before you sell a land, you have to go and meet the land first and appease the land. I'm not selling you. I want to hand you over to somebody who needs you. And there are rituals you are meant to do. So those of you, I'm giving you a free tip now, those of you in real estate. Why do you think I don't announce my real estate business on social media? I don't need to. If I have a property within my circle, it can be sold in 1 month. So I don't have to become, hey, I'm selling property. Because I have this understanding. And the ancients, the ancestors, they have this understanding. Land is ancestral. You don't sell it. So you are not even selling it. Land, I am not selling you. I can't sell you. You are nature. But I want you to serve as the means for value exchange. Somebody needs you. So there is nothing like landlord. You can't be a lord of the land. Who are you? Which landlord? Which landowner? Every land is on lease. That's why you see the government, 100 years. Every land is on lease. So I'm telling the land, I'm not selling you land. I just want to create a value exchange. I want to align with you as a sane force of nature. Somebody wants to do something that will benefit us. And I want to hand you over. And you do the necessary rites and rituals on the land. And it becomes easier to sell that land. If you don't, you sweat. It is harder to sell lands than to sell houses, because the house is already a product on the land. So you're not necessarily selling the land, you are selling the product, the constructed building on the land. Let me not give you too much of this. So guys, if you want to get more of this, I'm simply preparing you for the Lionsgate Portal. The Lionsgate Portal Masterclass. Last year, we didn't give so much information, but people were able to power transformation in their lives with the little information at their disposal. But this year, we want to make sure that before the Lionsgate Portal officially kicks in, that we give enough information. That's why we have this 4-day premium virtual mystic experience. And I would encourage you, especially if you are in the community, especially if you are, I am the type of person that I just want to teach people so they can go and apply. I'm not anybody's prophet. I'm not anybody's Babalawo. So I'm here to teach you universal principles so you can apply it. And those who are close to me, they know me. And when I teach you, I'm expecting you to produce results. No excuse. There are people in the community, they must publish their books this year. There are people that their business must increase, must quadruple in net worth. They must quadruple in net worth this year. So when they come and they tell me excuses, is entering here, is coming out from here. So especially for those of you in the community, I expect that you register for this Lionsgate Portal Masterclass. It's a 4-day premium virtual mystic experience. So everything I'm telling you now is to prepare you for that 4 days. And we're going to go deeper by looking at why July 26th to August 12th are not ordinary days, and what you can do to plug into those days, the collective energy. How you can plant, how you can sign, how you can seal your desires for manifestation during the portal. Those who practiced the sign and seal ritual last year in August, right? They are about to open their letter. The letter they wrote to the universe last year, they will open it August this year. And you will be shocked that most of the things you wrote in there, you have manifested them. And we'll look at the ancient secrets behind August 8th and frequency elevation. How you can use sexual energy to elevate your vibration, to magnetize your desire during the Lionsgate portal. So you don't waste your seed everywhere, just getting wet for nothing, and coming and climaxing, orgasm or nothing. You finish, you are weak and empty, broke and busted. No, it is your life force and your chi energy that you can use to manifest greatly. Yeah, someone here said they did it last year. I told you to set an alarm for August 8th, 2025. You're going to learn how to decode your personal numerology for the Lionsgate Portal 2025. So now, one of the things we're doing, there are several other insights I'm going to be sharing during the 4-day event. Now, those who subscribe, you're going to have this bonus: lifetime membership into the Manifest Growth community, personalized numerology blueprint from August to December. So you know exactly what to do, so you are not scattered. Based on your numerology, you know exactly what to do every month. Numbers are energy fields vibrating in frequency. And then you are going to have access to the 88th chamber. It's a private WhatsApp group for daily prompts during the Lionsgate portal. You're going to have a free Lionsgate portal kit. You're going to have a free Lion Code audio. This audio was produced by me. I played all the instrument myself. I breathe into it, and the frequency is great. So you can use it for meditation, for affirmation, for declaration. We're going to give you that. You're going to have a letter to the universe template. That's when you're going to be, you will learn how to write a letter to the universe for your sign and seal ritual. You're going to get a free video of Lionsgate activation exercise, free 8 mirror ritual and altar affirmation cards, and then you will have access to the recording of the session. And also, you're going to have access to the recording of the International Conscious Conference sessions that will hold later in August. We have already started sending some materials to those who have subscribed.